Have you noticed how literally every single time your life starts falling apart or feels that things just stop working out, that you also stop doing your routines and your rituals that make you feel more acquainted? Well, today's video is going to specifically talk about part of the neuroscience backing why that is, but also the degree of why it's so important that even amidst those situations that we continue to keep in tune with those rituals and those habits. Because I will say, discipline is one of those things that will quite frankly change the way your brain works and the way your brain responds to negative situations and moments where you feel a bit more drained and a bit more hurt. So, I'm sitting next to my avocado tree. I don't know if you see it. It's got a little avocado. It's growing. It's literally the most exciting thing in the world. I like to sit on the floor and I like to be outside. It's just who I am. It's just who I am. Anyways, let's get into it. So, we always talk about this thing where whenever we go through a depressive episode, people talk about how, oh, I stopped showering, I haven't gotten ready in weeks, I haven't done this, I haven't done that, my room is such a mess. And a lot of the time we equate the fact that we stop doing those things to the fact that we feel depressed. However, and again, before people in the comments come at me, let me give you some backstory, okay? I struggled with anxiety, depression, and was even diagnosed with bipolar disorder for years. I mean, it was literally up until maybe a year ago that my psychiatrist told me I don't need to be on medication anymore. But it was before that I started implementing these things and these rituals, right? And something that I learned is that a lot of the time, and I heard this in a video, I don't remember who said it, but it really reframed my brain and how I viewed the situation. But when you're not depressed, I saw it in a video and it completely reframed how I viewed these situations, and it's something that really in the past 2 years has really significantly helped me. But it's not that you stop doing all the things you love because you're depressed, but you're actually depressed because you stop doing the things you love. For example, getting ready, showering. Those in theory may be a bit harder to do when you're depressed, but the reason that you're depressed is because you convinced yourself that you're not deserving of doing things that make you feel good, like taking care of yourself. You're not worthy of being taken care of. And that's where that subconscious reprogramming plays such a significant role in our mental health and also in mysticism. Because again, this is an esoteric account and what I talk about predominantly has to do with esoteric subjects. However, a big part of spirituality is discipline. And that's something that I feel like the media doesn't talk about enough. But have you noticed how people who are really in tune with their spirituality, they often, one, have a lot of faith, they spend a lot of time being mindful and present, they are very attuned with what their body and their mind needs, they know how to listen to themselves, they take good care of themselves. Like the saying, your body is a temple, I mean, we've heard that for years, and I think a lot of the time we think stuff like that is stupid, but the reason that we hear those things for so often is because to be spiritual, you have to understand that you have to take care of your physical, what's the word I'm trying to look for? It's like your physical body. Like you have to take care of it because you have your spiritual body, you have your etheric body, but your physical body, that's what moves you in this plane, right? So to be spiritual, to be religious, to be philosophical, taking care of yourself is a fundamental part of that. And so, I mean, when I really got into spirituality to the extent that I'm in now, I mean, I'll give you guys a little list by list of my routine, and I'll make a video about this sometime. If you guys are interested, please comment down below, because I would love to do a day in my life routine as an esoteric occultist, because my routine is very structured and it's very focused. So essentially, I wake up and I walk my dog, I make breakfast, I do auric cleansing rituals, because I practice ceremonial magic. And yeah, so I do that. Then I step into, my physical movement. I walk my dog, but I also go to the gym and do my own kind of focused, regulated movements. From there, I start doing the work that I set out for myself, and as an occultist, that varies day by day, but a lot of the time, sometimes I'll have readings. I like to do my readings for people, though, more in the evening. But I also have creative projects that I work on, so I kind of list them out in a way of what I need to do that day, and I do the hardest first, get that over with, and then move towards the easier stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's about getting it done without getting myself burnt out, and if I end the day easier, then I start the next day feeling lighter, right? Rather than overexerting all the time. And then at night, I do an hour to 2 hours of non-negotiable meditation and devotionals and journaling, where I pray to my deities, I meditate and I pray, I journal. I do any occult rituals that I'm doing at that time. And I set that time aside, no phone, just present in my body with my deities. And I do it every single day. And I haven't missed a day. There's some days where I'm really burnt out and I do a lighter version of it, but it's non-negotiable in my routine every single day. And that is something that I didn't just one day wake up and be like, okay, I'm going to do this. It started out literally years ago. I started with 5 minutes of meditation every day. When you realize that you have 5 minutes every single day to do one thing every single day, then adding something else becomes easier. And it's so easy for you to frame it in a way where 5 minutes over time will become 10 minutes. 10 minutes over time will become 30 minutes. And it just moves up. And it's the same as if I have time to brush my teeth every single day, then I also have time to meditate for 5 minutes every single day. If I have time to do this every single day, then I also actually have time to make myself yummy meals that feel fulfilling. Or, if you want, I personally love the ritual of making food for myself, but you could even outsource that and pay someone else to meal prep for you. And it's just, at the end of the day, taking care of yourself should be a non-negotiable, because I've noticed even in this past week, I had a moment where I wasn't feeling well and I was feeling very drained and a bit depressed for a few days. And I realized in those few days that I wasn't really taking care of myself. I kind of gave up on doing my daily fitness just for a few days, but I felt it. Because we're often taught that, oh no, that we're supposed to do things all freely and not have structure. But have you noticed how when we're children and we're growing up, we have a school schedule that we do every single day, and that schedule is fixed, and a lot of us do really well in school, and then when we go into adulthood and we free raw dog everything, then we kind of struggle, because that's what happened to me, and I know that's happened to a lot of other people that I know. Because you're not meant to raw dog life. You just aren't. And people disagree with me when I say that, but listen, you don't have to have a rigid schedule every single day, but knowing a step-by-step of, oh, I like to do this every day, or every single day I'm going to meditate, every single day I'm going to journal, every single day I'm going to do one thing to take care of myself and make myself feel good. That alone will take you so much further than anything else will. Because whether it's financial or friendships, relationships, or whatever, you need to be able to be putting your best foot forward. And to put your best foot forward, you also have to enjoy your life and enjoy your peace. If, for example, in relationships, You can't always be your best self in relationships with other people if you're not taking time for yourself to focus on what you need, your body needs, your mind needs, right? Same with your job. Whatever your job is, a lot of my followers tend to be entrepreneurs because of what I teach. I teach how to build your business using the study of King Solomon, for those who are new to my channel. But I use esoteric frameworks to scale and build businesses. And the thing is especially if you're an entrepreneur, you know that it's hard to get rest because your business is something that's always on your mind. You don't just turn that off, ever. It's not like when you go to a normal job and you clock in and out. And so part of those esoteric frameworks that I teach, they balance all of these different things to also make sure that you get that time to rest, because as a human being, not getting rest is actually absurd. Like, it's absurd. And so that's why it's really fundamental that all of these things cohesively work together. Genuinely. And I cannot stress that enough. And so, yeah. Having discipline in your day-to-day life will also impact your spirituality to a degree more than you know. I mean, there's this debate that always goes on in spiritual communities where a lot of people talk, like, for example, a lot of traditionalists believe that to be spiritual and to truly embody spirituality, you have to be fully sober. Then there's some spiritual people who believe that, you know, substances can help with that. And it's hit or miss, right? Everyone has something specific that works for them and how they see it, right? To me, I think that, like, for example, I live a primarily sober lifestyle, but occasionally, recently I've been realizing, okay, even the most rigid people have a glass of wine on the occasion, and I don't do that because of reasons. But I realized, okay, I can do a little bit of unwinding every now and then, and there's nothing wrong with that, and it's finding that balance between rest and output, right? And so for me, what I do is my spiritual time that is completely sober, it's untouched, it is focused. And then on my me time, maybe occasionally, like once a month, I'll have a little gardening sesh or something along those lines. Because I'm human. And I run my business, like, constantly. And sometimes you just need to chill for a second and meditate on the fact that, oh, the world will still move if I enjoy this moment. And it really does help being mindful and present. And that is something that I think we really need to teach our children. I don't have kids, but if you have kids, I think it's important to teach your children to be mindful and present and focus on the world around you. That's why going outside and sitting on the ground and feeling earth is really the best thing to do. So yeah, I think I touched a lot of points. I didn't come into this with a script by any means, so it was a lot of free-form talking. So if you liked it, let me know. If you want a detailed daily routine of mine, I can share that. I don't really share a lot of my in-depth spiritual practices. I can vaguely talk about it in another video if that's something that interests you. But like I said, I have offerings on my website. I teach courses on the study of Hermeticism and the study of King Solomon, and specifically how to tailor those studies to build your life in the way that you are meant to be living it. That's different for everyone, but that's what my courses help with. I also do intuitive readings. I am offering a new thing on my site where for subscribers on my site, I will offer one mini reading for free every month. And if you wanted to get a deeper one, then you can buy that on my page. And I also have workbooks that are available. So I also offer a one-on-one mentorship. And in that one, it's essentially the stuff I teach in the courses, but we meet one-on-one and we actually specifically tailor it around you and your life rather than you doing the work yourself. And so we work together on building that and scaling your business. So, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to go to the gym. But, talk soon.